Welcome back, everyone. It is now June 12th of 2023. We got a couple of more weeks to go until Indy 5, The Dial of Destiny drops in theaters on June 30th, starring Harrison Ford and Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And this is something that a lot of fans have really been having a lot of skepticism over and a lot of criticism over the fact, based on what Kathleen Kennedy's been talking about the film, based on what James Mangold himself has been saying, and the latest having a lot to do with Harrison Ford, the star of the show. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support, and let's get right into the subject. Now, we do know that Harrison and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, they are the two main leads of the Indy 5 movie, and the entire show of this new saga, or this new adventure, whatever you want to call it, that is basically being mishandled by Kathleen Kennedy in the worst way possible. Now, given that we've already seen firsthand about how Kathleen Kennedy says straight up that she wants to create an Indy 5 sequel, and that is something that they are talking about right now, on how perhaps many of the new characters can lead the show, whether it be a movie or a series, whatever it may be. But looking to the next big thing here, what Harrison Ford has to say about Indy 5 really sheds a lot more light on the truth about what's been going on behind closed doors and exactly what the evolution of Indy 5's production was really like, and how it really led to something that I think a lot of fans are going to really not approve of. So let's get right into all of this right now. So on top of this, with Indy 5, The Dial of Destiny now getting close to its release and Disney looking to doing some last-minute marketing bumps to increase fan engagement levels, Harrison Ford went on to unveil a certain truth related to Indy 5 that sheds more light on the problems with this movie. Now, Ford delivered the following to the fans. Well, it took us a long and difficult time to really decide what is this movie? Where does it lead? When I first read the script, I said to myself, what in the world is this even about? So James made some tweaks and Kathy felt it needed some revisions, which we made. But, you see, when I got my shoulder injury, they felt it was the best time to change some pieces of the story. They really wanted to shine everything on Helena, since the newcomer, and she is the star as the first one here, and I was like, what the hell does my goddaughter have to do with this, haha. But she grows on you, I guess. I mean, she's family, sorta. So the story sort of changed while I was healing and recuperating from my shoulder injury while taking some time off. And before I knew it, the story wasn't really all about Indiana, but more about his emotions and loved ones surrounding him that follow in his path. Now, I want to pause here quick about what Ford is saying. I don't know about you guys, but there's a lot of interviews out there where Ford seems so not even all that enthusiastic about this movie, very monotone. He puts a lot of ums in between sentences. He doesn't really speak like as if he's full of energy or he's got a full-on excitement about this movie. It just comes across like he did this for the paycheck and he couldn't wait for it to be over. And he's just saying whatever he has to say as part of PR. And it's just honestly depressing that Ford went through with this project. If I were him, and let me just be honest, if I were him, dare I say it, I would have rejected this movie. On point. I would have said, I'm not becoming a part of this unless you honor the legacy, if you honor the past of Indiana Jones, if you bring George Lucas, that'll be great too, but other than that, I'm not coming back. That's what they should have done. They should have had George back, they should have had Steven Spielberg a part of this project, and unfortunately, yeah, I mean, there were a lot of tangles in there that ultimately led to that not even working out. So they got James Mangold involved, and he was the lead of being the creator, essentially, of this new movie. But at the end of the day, Ford is literally confirming here that previously Helena was not the main focus of the story. It wasn't until Ford got that injury from his shoulder back in 2021 when he was filming, I don't know if you guys recall, but he got that shoulder injury. He took quite a long time off, not terribly long, but he took some time off. And that's what led to the whole development of Helena being the main story or the main focus of Indiana Jones 5 at the time. So moving to the next thing here. He states, Helena is like the evolution of Indy. She's his extension in this one. That was Kathy's vision. She didn't really want to actually have direct family. She excluded my movie son at all costs in this one. He's talking about Shia LaBeouf, by the way. But she did say, let's bring in the story of his goddaughter to become more prominent. Let's give her the bigger role in this one. And it did make me wonder, what am I doing here? Well, that one is just different than the other ones. I think fans will come to say it's a more lighthearted indie film with lots and lots of jokes. It has tons of comedic relief, and Helena is a big source of that. I know Phoebe had a fun time on set. It was a long production, that's all I can say, and it evolved in like 8 different directions over time. So basically what Ford is saying here is that there was a lot of production issues going into all of this, and there was also a lot of problems related to the development of Helena becoming the main protagonist of the story, essentially, right? So the problem that I have with this is that Ford is very unenthusiastic. He's not excited from what it sounds like. Very monotone, especially in a lot of the other interviews where he kind of puts this out there that he talks about Indiana Jones' journey, and he always questions about, where does he go next? What's going to happen here and there? He pauses a lot in between sentences. In fact, there was one of them, I'll have to try to find it and link it below, but there's one where he pauses legitimately for like 30 seconds trying to gather words about the actors and their role in the story, like, Mickelson and Phoebe Waller-Bridge and stuff like that. Kathy Kennedy really wanted to have a lot of Star Wars actors in this, so she got Mads in here, she got Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and all the like. Stuff like that. So I think that was a little bit of a mistake because she was just kind of dragging in people that are already associated with Lucasfilm, and it may have not worked out for the best. And I'm not saying that Mads is going to be a very bad choice. From what it looks like, he's got a pretty well-written role, at least, for the role in isolation. That doesn't necessarily make the movie good. But from what I've seen in the trailers and from what we have heard, he is basically the steal of the movie. Like, he is like the good part of the movie, where he's got like the good acting and the good dialogue. Apart from that, the dialogue is described to be very lackluster, soulless, and not even funny material. There's a lot of jokes in this, and Ford did confirm this. And this is exactly what the people coming out of Cannes Film Festival said, the critics, that there's a lot of jokes in here, and they fall very flat, make you not laugh. It's like a very bad sitcom at times. I mean, the different comments by the critics just are endless. So, it's just sad to see that this is where Indy 5 is heading. I never expected it. Never, ever, ever in my years would have expected Indy 5 to be this bad. And that really looks like where it is heading. It's gonna be like the worst of the worst by Kathleen Kennedy, quite possibly even worse than The Last Jedi by Rian Johnson. It's very possible. So, anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.